Tonight the NBA landscape is set for a series of matchups where every number, every injury, and every matchup nuance could tip the scales in unexpected ways. Forget the surface-level narratives, the star power, or primetime hype. Tonight is about depth, tactical edges, and the subtle opportunities hidden within the stats. From spreads and totals to player props and injury reports, each detail tells a story, and only those willing to look beyond the obvious will uncover the edges worth betting on. Let's break down these games with surgical precision and dramatic insight, starting with a clash that could redefine momentum for both squads involved. Game 1. Pistons vs. Celtics. The Detroit Pistons are on the road, but this is far from your typical underdog narrative. On the money line, the Pistons sit at plus 108, a line that reflects a betting market that may be underestimating the depth and versatility of Detroit's roster. The total is set at 229.5, leaning towards the over, and given the offensive firepower on display recently, it's a number that could easily be surpassed. Detroit's starting five, Cunningham, Robinson, Thompson, Harris, and Duran, combine youth, athleticism, and scoring versatility. Boston counters with White, Pritchard, Brown, Walsh, and Queta, a lineup that mixes backcourt strength with a frontcourt that now looks increasingly vulnerable. Injuries are a key storyline. Isaac Jones for Detroit is questionable, while Boston will be without Tatum and has Harper questionable, further weakening the Celtics' already fragile frontcourt. Recent results paint a clear picture of momentum and potential mismatch exploitation. The Pistons crushed the Hawks 142-115 at home, showcasing a potent offense capable of rapid scoring bursts and deep rotation efficiency. Head-to-head this season, Detroit is 1-1 against Boston, having lost one matchup by 3 and won the other by 6, demonstrating that these teams are capable of splitting outcomes depending on situational factors and on-court execution. The matchup notes underline why bettors should be paying attention. Detroit boasts a deeper bench, giving them the ability to maintain intensity and offensive flow beyond the starters' minutes. Meanwhile, the Celtics, fresh off a road loss to the Bucks, a team previously dismantled by the Nets by 45 points, look exposed, particularly in the frontcourt. Walsh and Queta remain questionable as starters, which could leave Boston thin inside, while their backcourt trio of White, Pritchard, and Brown remains their primary weapon. Betting angles tilt decisively toward Detroit. Despite being a road team, the Pistons' depth, recent offensive explosion, and Boston's frontcourt fragility suggest that taking the Pistons on the money line and pushing the total over 229.5 could be the smart play. Spread lean for this matchup clearly favors Detroit to cover, as the Celtics' key absences leave them vulnerable to both bench scoring and perimeter penetration. Game 2. Raptors vs. Heat. Over in Toronto, the Raptors face the Miami Heat in a matchup where injuries, spacing, and defensive matchups set the stage for a strategic chess game. The Raptors enter as +6 on the spread, with the total sitting under 237, a number that speaks to defensive potential and pace control. Toronto's starting five features Oshabaji, Ingram, Barnes, Yaka, and Pearl, while Miami counters with Mitchell, Hero, Powell, Wiggins, and Bam. The injury report tilts heavily toward Toronto's challenge. Barrett is out, and lost in battle is questionable. Miami faces significant absences as well, with Scary Terry and Pale Larson out and Yakunas, the Illinois rookie, listed as questionable. Recent trends amplify the drama. The Raptors have lost 4 consecutive games, and this is their first action since December 9th, giving them a 6-day layoff. The Heat have also lost 4 straight, struggling defensively since integrating Tyler Hero into the rotation. But this is where the matchup nuance becomes critical. Oshabaji offers superior on-ball defense against Hero, potentially mitigating one of Miami's offensive threats. Meanwhile, the combination of Hero and Mitchell on the court has historically produced defensive lapses, a vulnerability Toronto can exploit if they maintain control and limit turnovers. Betting angles for this matchup suggest that the Raptors, despite recent struggles, have the tools to not only cover the spread at +6 but also keep the game under 237 points, aligning with the under on total points. Spread lean favors Toronto, as their defensive assignments against Hero and Mitchell could suppress Miami's scoring while the Raptors control tempo and leverage their own lineup advantages. For parlay consideration tonight, A strategic combination could include Detroit Pistons on the moneyline plus 108 and Toronto covering the spread plus 6 while keeping their respective totals aligned with the over and under projections. Game 3. Mavericks vs Jazz. The Mavericks enter this contest as a slight favorite on the spread at -2, with the total set at over 236.5. Detroit's starting five of Nembhard, Marshall, Flagg, Washington, and Davis, though Davis is questionable, bring a blend of scoring, athleticism, and experience designed to handle the Jazz's defensive assignments. The Jazz counter with a starting lineup of George, Bailey, Markin, and Filipowski, one name unclear, a squad that relies heavily on its backcourt duo to pressure the Mavericks' Nembhard and Marshall. Injuries play a massive role in tonight's script. The Mavericks will be without Irving, Lively, Exum, and DLO, while AD and Gafford are questionable. On the Jazz side, Nurkic, Niang, and Kessler are all out, weakening their rotation and potentially exposing gaps in both frontcourt and depth. Recent results highlight a Mavericks squad that has gone 6-4 in their last 10 games and has won back-to-back contests, showing momentum and confidence on the offensive end. Jazz, by contrast, sit at 9-15 overall and 6-7 at home, though they enter with a morale boost from winning their last road game by 4 against the Grizzlies. The matchup notes indicate that Mavericks need either AD or Gafford to provide size down low, a critical factor against the Jazz's frontcourt. Meanwhile, the Jazz backcourt pairing of George and Bailey will be key in matching up against Nembhard and Marshall. The betting angles for this game point squarely toward the Mavericks in the over, reflecting a team poised to exploit defensive gaps while pushing tempo. Spread lean for this matchup favors Dallas, assuming AD or Gafford can log meaningful minutes and provide interior presence, which could swing the game in their favor and justify the -2 spread. Game 4. Rockets vs Nuggets. Shifting westward, the Rockets face the Nuggets in a contest where home court advantage, star availability, and matchup nuances converge into a fascinating betting narrative. The Nuggets are favored at -1.5 as a short home favorite, with an alternative moneyline of -115 available on some books. The total is set at over 234.5, suggesting a game that could open up offensively despite key absences. Houston's starting five is listed as KD, Smith, Schengen, with 2 others implied, while Denver's lineup mentions the Joker and Murray, leaving the full roster unclear. Injuries again shape the story. The Rockets will be without Finney-Smith and Van Fleet, Wichita State, while Ian is questionable. The Nuggets face absences as well, with Gordon and Braun out and Bates and Strother listed as questionable. These absences are especially notable given Denver's recent performance. Winners of 4 straight and a strong home team, they look poised to capitalize on Houston's rebounding prowess, which could dominate the glass but may struggle to convert efficiency without key contributors. The player prop spotlight tonight shines on Nikola Jokic, the Joker, with a projected stat line of 36 points, 13 rebounds, and 12 assists. The focus on Joker over is highlighted by the absence of Braun and Gordon, which places additional offensive responsibility squarely on his shoulders. Betting angles for this matchup align with taking the Nuggets, the over, and Joker's points over projection, combining spread and individual performance trends to build a multi-layered edge. Spread lean favors Denver as the short home favorite, with momentum, home court strength, and key Rockets absences tipping the scales in their favor. For parlay construction tonight, one could combine Mavericks -2 with the over 236.5 and Nuggets -1.5 along with Joker P over, creating a multi-leg bet that leverages both team and individual edges across the slate. Each matchup presents a story of opportunity hidden in plain sight, from Dallas' interior needs to Denver's home dominance and Jokic's statistical spotlight, highlighting why looking beyond the box score is essential for bettors who want to stay ahead of the market. Game 5. Memphis Grizzlies vs Los Angeles Clippers. The Memphis Grizzlies are set to visit Los Angeles to take on the Clippers, a team that has struggled mightily this season. The Clippers come in laying 4.5 points at home, a number that might look safe on paper but belies the inconsistency that has plagued this team all year. Their record is stark: 6-19 straight up overall and 3-7 straight up at home. Despite past seasons of strong home performance and profitability, the current Clippers roster has not lived up to expectations. The addition of Bradley Beal, intended to elevate their offense, has coincided with continued struggles, leaving bettors and analysts skeptical about their ability to dominate at home. The Grizzlies enter this matchup with their own challenges. Memphis has been decimated by injuries, with Conker, Ed, Jerome, Small, Clark, and Scottie Pippen Jr. all listed out. Yet there is a silver lining. Ja Morant returned in their last game, injecting energy and leadership back into the lineup. That return came in a 7.5-point favorite outing against the Jazz, which ended in an outright loss. Analysts suggest that game may have been a warm-up for Morant's full return, giving the Grizzlies a chance to shake off the rust and begin regaining their rhythm despite missing multiple key contributors. When examining matchup context, the narrative becomes clear. The Clippers, while nominally favored at home, have been wildly inconsistent. Memphis, though battered by absences, has regained its floor general in Morant, a factor that could neutralize the home court spread. Betting angles lean toward Memphis, with points providing the safer avenue given the Clippers' erratic performance. Trends from prior seasons suggest caution against trusting the Clippers at home this year, particularly when their marquee addition has not produced the expected results. Spread lean favors Memphis with points, reflecting both the return of Morant and the skepticism surrounding the Clippers' ability to cover. For bettors seeking parlay potential, Memphis with points tonight fits naturally with other games where injured teams retain key stars returning, combining momentum and strategic advantage across the slate. This game tells a story not just of numbers, but of timing, resilience, and the subtle edges hidden behind injuries and historical performance. In a contest defined by unpredictability, the Grizzlies' ability to leverage Morant's return against a faltering home favorite may well tip the scales and validate taking Memphis with points. And there you have it. Every matchup, every injury, every key stat, and every edge laid out for tonight's NBA slate. From the Pistons exploiting Boston's frontcourt issues, to the Raptors navigating Miami's defensive gaps, to the Mavericks and Nuggets leveraging momentum and star power, and finally Memphis looking to shock the struggling Clippers, there's no shortage of opportunities for sharp bettors willing to follow the numbers. If you're serious about staying ahead of the market, make sure you hit that like button, subscribe to Beyond the Box Score, and turn on notifications so you never miss a breakdown where we dig deep, beyond the surface, and uncover the edges others overlook. Drop a comment below with your predictions for tonight's games. We love seeing who you're taking and why. Remember, this isn't just about the scoreboards, it's about the stories behind the stats, and the numbers don't lie when you know how to read them. So strap in, follow the edges, and let's see who comes out on top tonight.